Alright, thanks for stopping by. Just gonna start my live stream here. So, a second. Alright, so yeah, thanks for stopping by. What I'm kind of looking at. So, one second. I'm just gonna. Alright, it's a little noisy outside, so just gotta close the window. Alright, so, upside after hours, after GameStop earning, when push about 5%, more than 5%, close to 6%. I got a call options at $25, so hopefully tomorrow, makes some money from there. I think there's people who might be wondering, so what's gonna happen to the stock price, right? Like, what's gonna happen to the stock price? Am I recording? Okay. What's gonna happen to the stock price? After this issuing this warrant, and I think in a short term we could see a dip. Like I do agree with. Let me just pull this one out here. I do agree with Salvatore. I think he starts getting in TA. Maybe he wants to take my spot. Where's his I saw he post something. But yeah, I saw his post, and I do see something similar to what he's projecting based on oh yeah, this one. So different ticker, and then when you see when that issued, it shot up, right? And then the record date is here. So until before the record date, the stock price continue go upside, and distribution date is at the top, and expiration date is here. So what days is it? This is like an hourly chart. How come their expiration date is so short? Similar to GameStop warrants dividend, with the key difference being that expiration date was August 29th. And the GameStop expiration date is October 30th, 2026. Okay, that's very interesting, because I think I personally don't know about this company, but yeah, Salvatore brought up quite interesting stuff, so I just want to share. Doesn't mean that we're gonna go this way, but I see similar from my chart in a short term, okay, not a long term. So hedge fund will try to shake off the people anyway, right? I mean, we're pretty much used to it. So I think it's possible we could see. I mean, we're gonna still go up, and I'm gonna show you chart in a second. But yeah, expiration days. I don't know why the expiration days is very short. It's like a 2 month out. Usually the warrants, as I study like Hertz warrants, even Hertz, when they file Chapter 11 and then older shareholder receive warrants after they re-emerge from bankruptcy, Chapter 11. They receive a 5 years warrant, guys. 5 years, 5 or 10 years. It's like extremely long contract, right? But stock price has to go up, right? So that they can exercise in a higher price. I mean, they can sell it for higher price, right? So a lot of people might be curious about that. I think you could kind of treat that as a long term option. And then I think this is very strategic move from GameStop and Ryan Cohen itself, and I'm gonna explain why from my chart and what I'm seeing here. So yes, GameStop announced the dividend of warrants. So GameStop holders who has let's say if they have 100 shares, they'll get 10 warrants. So you have to hold 10 shares of GameStop in order to receive one warrants, okay? And then you need to hold the stock by the record date is October 3rd. So October 3rd is going to be Friday. We have about 3 weeks or so, and then after that, October 7th on Tuesday, 59 million warrants will be distributed. Okay, so that's something that you can look out for. And then once the warrants come out, a holder can purchase it one shares of common stock at an exercise price of 32 at any time. So the price has to go up above 32 bucks. So and then this warrant will expire October 30th, 2026. So I'm gonna show you something here briefly. So I've been kind of tracking between 2016 bull run of GameStop and 2020 bull run GameStop, and I do think that we are gonna go for 2020 type of style cycle. In my opinion, not financial advice. Of course, things could change, but based on, like this is all speculation, right? Not financial advice, but based on what he announced, based on what's going on, as you know, there's a lot of shorts, and they fuck around with the ETF and XRT, all that shit that you already know. So I'm not gonna explain further. But as you can see, based on my chart, this is, by the way, how the 2020 bull run happened, right? So as Salvatore mentioned, that we could briefly go up to a little bit higher, and which I'm also seeing that very similarly, which match perfectly as well. And then we start to breaking out of this one. I post this one today that it was forming a triangle formation, and then it has to show direction, and then it showed direction, right? And then I'm gonna just change the color here. Maybe this is too, yeah, all right, so maybe this is easier to see. So this thing pop up this level. It's possible we could see move up to $26 level. It's possible $26.70 or $80 level, and then that's towards FMC meeting. We got next week, we got a FMC on September 17 on Wednesday. There's going to be an interest rate cut, right? And I think somewhere between the line here, we might see a dip, like how Salvatore mentioned about it. I'm seeing that similar pattern here. It doesn't mean that expiration date is very close. So this chart was created, and I think this is like, I don't know, it's really weird. It feels like a pump and dump motion. I don't know, but we might see something similar. I think maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, we might see some sort of a short attack. Try to make you sell, right, the shares. So just kind of watch out for that. We might see us go up to $26 level, $26.50 level, whatever, and then have a dip after FOMC meeting next week. And also there's a huge quad witching on September 19, and that's another big day for options market, the ETF, all the basically all like huge option market. Like they got like 4 different markets are basically expire on that day, right? So every quarter, right? So it's a huge there's gonna be huge volatility on that week, and also FMC's there. So just watch out for that. So if you got any call options, guys, don't wait too long. I think if you got especially short-term call options, let's say for expiring this week, I think for anybody who play call options for this week, I think they're gonna sell, right? I mean, it's a better idea to sell this tomorrow, rather than waiting until Friday, because that there's gonna be a theta decay after Wednesday usually, right? So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday's final expiration day, so there's gonna be huge theta decay, and you're gonna start lose money. But just gotta be careful with that. You don't want to risk too much. Although this might look like going into a $26.50 or $26 level, but you don't want to risk too much. I got a call options for expiring a week, next week, and then week after. I initially bought 26 September 26 call, and for $25 strike price, and $25 same strike price for September 19. So I got this two here because I don't want to buy a weekly option, because I'm not really interested in that type of play. I know people play really short. There's people who are like traders, But I'm more like, I think I'm more like I'll say like I'm more comfortable with swing trading rather than like really like like short term trading. Anyway, and I got some January call options. So when you look at it really depends on how they're gonna run this thing. But so let's say this, we're gonna go up this level. This thing start to go this way, and we might see this type of upside, and then hit $46. So that's already above. So this is after earning. I think there's another next earning on November. So somewhere in the next earning, we might see another huge pop, and then there's gonna be a pullback. So I think somewhere between this area, the stock price will definitely go higher than the $32 that the Warrant strike price, and there's gonna be another dip again. And I think there's gonna be some market overall, some sharper pullback between somewhere between December to March, early next year. There's gonna be a sharp pullback. I'm expecting that, and then this thing will start to continue to go upside until 2026 warrant expiration day on October 2026, which is about here, and which perfectly in line with my chart. This will hit $100, and then this thing will come down, right? This is October, September, October, and boom, right? This warrant is supposed to expire on October 30, right? October 30th. Let me double check just to make sure. Yes. So so this warrant will expire October 30th, 2026. As you can see from my chart, this is October 27, and then boom, it shut down, right? There's going to be 25% pullback. And what happened after that? This thing heading into a final short squeeze phase. So I think if this is a Ryan Cohen's a way to create another type of a short squeeze, and then basically basically like he's taking advantage of the shorts who are using a lot of toxic assets or derivatives or swaps and all ETF whatnot, right? He wants to find a way to, I guess, destroy them and then still take advantage from them, and then the company continue to do this is the part of a dilution, but it's different way. So company will raise more money from this way. Ryan Cohen will exercise warrants, I think, right? There's no way that he's gonna just sell all the warrants into the market. So if we think that RC is going to exercise the warrants, that's basically exercise call options, like how Roaring Kitty did, back in 2020 or something, and I don't know if he actually did or exercise, and we don't know the data how much he's gonna do it. But if we think RC is gonna do that, then basically that will require the market makers to buy back shares and then deliver to Ryan Cohen, right? And then that will create a huge fucking pressure, and then create a short squeeze here. So I'm expecting, based on my timeline, I'm seeing by 2027 April, we're gonna go up to a $1,000 level. But I don't know. This is just all speculation. But you could see now that from short term, I'm just kind of wrap things up. We could see pop, right? Another, potentially go up to above, maybe slightly above $26. But after FOMC meetings next week, and then heading into the final the record date, we might see a dip, and then after that they still start to go up. November earning, we might see a pop and then pull back, what I mean, and go continue go ups and down. I don't know when Bed Bath Beyond will come out, but I think the most important thing is this one, and I shared this one last time.
A side sleeve, but actually in the core market.
So basically,
the eventual goal, or
this is from All In Podcast, and NASDAQ CEO talks about they're gonna link with tokenization.
is it today?
Yeah, I think
24
this
by
is very
7,
interesting for
360.
especially the bet beyond shareholders, because BBBY IP was sold to Beyond. Now BBB now using ticker BBBY, and this Beyond bought IP last year, and then they suddenly using their own T0 platform, which is approved by SEC, and then they start to test the Bye Bye Baby tokenized digital basically stock, right, digital token. So, and if the NASDAQ link those digital tokenized shares and then have them over to NASDAQ, traded over there to NASDAQ, and then older bet beyond shareholders could receive those kind of thing. I think there's some connection there. And when I look at this, how the market moves, how the NASDAQ say this, and how things are going with the Beyond and using Bye Bye Baby, tokenized shares. There's always a reason why. I don't think they're just gonna do, just do it for fun, right? So I think this is very interesting. I wanted to share this
equities,
with you today.
just let it rip
me just,
constantly.
I mean, I think we are all moving in that
share
direction.
that important part.
We announced several months ago that we're moving to 24/5, so we're kind of
24/5.
moving that way.
So
We are hyper resilient and we're hyper scaled. We manage, like today, we had 95 billion messages come into our systems today, and we had a median, return time of 20 microseconds from order to trade. We handle like 3 million messages a second. It's hugely scaled. But then at the same time, once that trade occurs, there's a different process. And then the post-trade process, as we know, is an area where tokenization really shines. And really cutting down the friction, managing capital flows across the global ecosystem, and really bringing that capability into the markets is going to be the next.
I'm curious to get your reaction to this. There's this very famous curve, which is like you get this early.
Forward thinking and forward leaning and how the technology is going to be applied is going to be critical. So we're very excited about the fact that we finally have this convergence of regulation between the traditional markets, the digital markets. How do we bring it all together to frankly advance all markets? And we're very, very excited about that.
And I don't mean that.
So I'm not gonna run a whole thing, but that's something I just kind of talked about, how they're gonna bridge the traditional market to digital tokenized shares. I think this is very interesting news. They also talks about the IP market.
And we have some folks
IPO
who maybe
market.
think things should run differently. We had Spotify go public in a direct listing. You have Chamath experimenting with SPACs. What should the IPO market look like, and how can we make it, now that we have a government that's maybe a little more engaged, let's say, and less napping as administration, how should the IPO market change and that process change to encourage people to maybe not stay private so long, because all the gains are being captured by the elites, by the qualified purchasers. The accredited investors can barely get in, and let alone the public. By the time the public gets in, it does feel like, oh, I'm getting into Instacart, and it's going to go sideways for a year or two or three.
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, I think it's really good to remind all of us why the public markets are so important for the economy. When a company goes public, they get access to billions of investors, and every citizen in this country gets a chance to become an owner in the economy. And when we look at just the performance of the NASDAQ 100 over 40 years of its existence, the average return on the NASDAQ 100 over those 40 years is a 14.25% annual return.
All right, let's call this bullshit. But anyway, I just want to. Holy shit, 6.4%. Fuck. Wow, when this happened? Just popped like crazy. Shit, man. Damn. 25. Holy fuck. What's going on, guys? Is there any news? How come it's went up $26 now? Oh, sorry, 20. How much is it? Is there news come out something? Anybody knows what's going on? Anything? No chat. What the hell is going on? But anyway, I think maybe shorts are buying shares or something. I don't know. Holy shit, my calls are printing, man. Jesus Christ, awesome. All right, sounds good. All right, looks good. So tomorrow, but as I said, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be we're gonna see, short squeeze here. We'll more likely kind of go up to $26, $26 2670 ish, you know, by early next week, you know, and then they're gonna try to push it down. I mean, that's just my opinion. I might be wrong, guys. But it's up to you guys to kind of see what do you do. But I mean, it's if you guys have call options, I think it's definitely to take some profits, you know, rather than holding it, you know. I'm just saying, you know. But anyway, I think we had a nice, earning. The earning was, I think he posted, Larry Cheng posted something here. Net sales, 22% years growth. Net income, 1,000% year growth. Cash equivalents, 8.7 billion. That's crazy. Bitcoin is 500 million. Wow. You know, it's getting crazy, you know. So this was my post before. There's also very interesting news came out today. GameStop also said get up to $700 cash, buy a new iPhone when you trade in your old iPhone at GameStop. Start now. Why they suddenly do that? That's really interesting, right? Is it partnership? I don't know, but that's already another good signs. You know, maybe that's another potential revenue or partnership with Apple's. You know. I do remember Apple had some sort of a not a partnership. Yeah, maybe it's a partnership with the Ether. You know, I've seen a news that Apple will. I mean, come on. Eventually, they're gonna use. They're all gonna use tokenized shares or some sort of a crypto assets. You know, to trade something, to buy NFTs. You know, to buy anything with crypto, right? And I think it's just a matter of time. You know, as you guys investors, you guys all know that the time. You know, it's really the matter of the time when we all gonna use crypto. You know, someday and trade. You know, NFTs and buy groceries with maybe some cryptos and I mean it's actually happening, right? But I think especially the big corporate company when they start to use this a platform, digital assets to actually let customer to buy something. I think that's already kind of a sign where we could see the GameStop is actually trying to figure that out with NFT marketplace using Loopring as a layer 2 Ether. As I mentioned from the last stream, big institution like BlackRock, Tom Lee also mentioned about his building portfolio with Ether. Goldman Sachs also they're increasing their positions in Ether. Like eventually something's gonna go this way, right? I mean the world will run around with this crypto stuff too. I think we are still very early. We are still very beginning. So I think the future is very bright with this all directions. And then so I think also the chain link, right? So it's very interesting how I share the now NASDAQ CEO talks about how they want to try to link with digital tokenized shares with NASDAQ. Now yesterday or day before, Chainlink, which is one of the main the crypto that links a lot of different those stuff. Like they're the kind of like the forefront of linking traditional assets to digital assets, and then they just file Form S1 to create a Chainlink ETF, and what's gonna happen after that, right? Like there's gonna be institutions and big investor will buy into this, right? And they want to run this thing. So when you look at it overall, the cycles and what's going on with this kind of companies and market, you could see where we're actually going to heading, right? And I think but the bye baby stuff is very interesting because I mean BBY the old BBY shareholders hasn't received anything yet, and I mean it is very tiring, to be honest with you. And I myself has invested in that Beth Beyond since 2022. I think. I mean, I watched Bed Bath Beyond when Ryan Quinn announced his first stake in Bed Bath in March 2020, as I remember correctly, and I didn't get in. I thought the $17 per share was expensive, so I didn't get in. I get in when this thing hit the bottom at $8, $7, $8. That was my first Bed Bath Beyond purchase, and then I ride with it. I thought I knew there's gonna be some a crazy momentum type of a run, and I held it through for the top up squeeze, and I didn't sell. And Ryan Quinn announced sell off and tank, and then I mean at the end I actually sold, and then I wait until 2023 early January that I saw Bed Bath Beyond was like really cheap, right? Like $1 or $2 or something. I remember. I was like, okay, I'll buy some, and then it started to go up. I'm like, fuck, I'll buy more. and then this thing fucking dip, right? I mean, I should have actually noticed that they're actually running a cycle, and yeah, they tank it down to like I don't know how much was it, like yeah, pretty lower than like I don't know how much was it, like 50 cents, 30 cents or something. But I bought more, to be honest with you. I bought more. I knew that this is not just something that going to be just done like this. It has to, there has to be something, based on my DD, all my research every fucking single day. I know there's something more than just something more. It's not just typical bankruptcy. I just didn't feel like it. Ryan Quinn name was all over the dockets, and he brought some lawyers that are who are specialized in this what do you call that, the investing criminals, the white collar crimes and stuff like that. I was like, wow, I don't think this is gonna be just fucking wipe out like this. There must be something more than just this. And I had that kind of convictions, and I bought more whenever I get my checks every 2 weeks. I pay my some bills. I say and then I just try to buy shares as much as I can, and then I have no regret. I'm still waiting, and I think the old Bed Bath Beyond shareholders will eventually get a reward, and then people might wonder when that reward time will be. And as I mentioned before, that 2027 is final short squeeze phase, so we need to get up beforehand, right? The old Bed Bath shareholder has to receive something before hit 2027, because 2027 is the final short squeeze phase, and they're heading into bear cycle. So in order to now I look at how GameStop announced this a warrants as a dividend, and this is going to bring the price up eventually, and the Ryan Quinn I'm pretty sure will exercise all his warrants that will pressure the naked short seller to buy back shares, which will make this fucking run. And I'm wondering when the old Bed Bath Beyond, when Ryan Quinn will bring a Bed Bath Beyond. And I think the work is still going with other subsidiary company, especially Beyond. I think Beyond and I think there's a subsidiary merger happen, and Beyond is doing work for Ryan Quinn, right? Like making IP for Bye Bye Baby and stuff like that. DK Butterfly is still, it got carved out nicely, just to, for Ryan Quinn to have a nice piece of, nice cake, So I think it's just the time of the, it's just a matter of time. It's really a matter of time, for we are just entering the bull run, right? We are start to getting into bull cycle. So now he knows that the prime time is between now till 2026, right? And 2020, because 2027 is the final short squeeze phase. So all Bad Bath Beyond shareholder must receive, I think, shares somewhere between September, till somewhere in March. That's just my speculation. If I don't know, I will still have to look at things, and things could change, but I that's just kind of my outlook on that. And then as I show you that this warrant expire will the warrant expire in October, which is about here. So yeah, this thing will hit like fucking hundreds, guys. So you don't have to worry about like, oh yeah, can I sell my warrants? Will GameStop will eventually go up to 30s? I mean, come on, guys. When you by the time when we get there, like 2026 and stuff, we're gonna see like huge upside. I don't know what the catalyst will be. Maybe we're gonna see Roaring Kitty came back and maybe start to stream again or something. I mean, there has to be something. So I think there's gonna be more exciting time will come, in my opinion. NFA. But yes, I do think that we're gonna see. Look at this. This is very similar pattern here. This is right before the bull run happened, as I showed you before. This is 2021 January top, 2024 top after RK came back, and this is exactly what they're forming here. They're making a huge a triangle formation, and now they're gonna do whatever they can to break the cycle, and we're gonna hit this fucking bull run. So yeah, I think it's gonna take. It's not gonna be like 5-6 months we're gonna see a squeeze. It's gonna take a little more than that until 2027. But don't be mad if I say I say that, because it's just that there's not much liquidity, and then they're gonna do whatever they can to run this thing, in my opinion. So. But yeah, this is kind of what you have it here. So we might see maybe a little bit more upside. Really depends, I guess, how I look at things. But I think we're gonna still go up a little higher. This based on this chart, when I match this chart with this May top, and then maybe somewhere here, this looks like we might hit $30 by FOMC meetings, and then we could see a drop here, right? There's gonna be a pullback to $25 or something. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be a huge volatility, guys. There's gonna be huge volatility. We hit $25. Amazing. So yeah, let's see how this will move tomorrow, and yeah, but I do think that this thing will continue to rise until next week. Okay, this is September 16, okay, in my chart, and then this thing will come down by the what do you call that, the distribution date, right? So by distribution date, October, when is the distribution date? Distribution date is like October 7th. Yes, October 7th, this thing will hit $23.50 or something, or $25 or something. It's gonna still make this higher low here, right? It's gonna create, where's my pen? Go higher low like that, you know what I mean? But like it goes higher low like that, it's gonna you'll continue to rise, but it'll keep this kind of bottom very steady, and then making higher low like that, just go up and down. And then this is another earning here in December or something, November or December. Yeah, it says December. So something happened here by the earning, and then it caused a squeeze. Not squeeze, but just mini squeeze. And this is when this chart is. This gap up was when Ryan Quinn announced his first stake in GameStop. Back in end of August, And I think it's possible we might see something here. We might see maybe possible RK tweet or possible RK another buy in or some sort of a catalyst here. I don't know, something happened here early Jan, and this is a January OPEX week, I think, and then that's already $60. But I mean, I don't know how much it will go, but yeah, we might see some like a huge volatility here, right? Like crazy, right? And then this is this is the 2026 August, and that's like $100 already, like 180 or something, I don't know. And this is February. Oh yeah, this is September and October. Yeah, so before so I never had a warrant before, but I do think that based on what I read, warrants act like a long dated call options. So I think you don't have to wait until October 26 warrants expire. I think you can sell or exercise anytime you want after the price go up to $32. But in my opinion, personally, based on what I'm seeing, the cycle wise and how things gonna move, and Ryan Quinn will most likely kind of give us this as a gift for you to kind of use as a tools to kind of make money, or you could sell to make money, or you could exercise to hold more the shares, whatever you want to do. So the price will definitely go above $30 no matter what before October warrants expire next year. But I one thing I want to mention is that if you want to sell the warrants, you don't have to wait until warrants expire. And I think a lot of you could maybe, if you want to sell, I think you could wait a little bit until maybe somewhere between July and August. I do see that's kind of the highest before the warrant expire, and this is when the expire happens. So there's going to be a huge crash, right? Like 20 to 30%, right? There's going to be pullback, right? And after that, this thing will heading into this final short squeeze phase. And I think this is caused by possibly the Ryan Quinn exercise all of his warrants. Imagine that. That's fucking crazy, right? It's like a call acting as a call options, and once the Ryan Quinn exercise warrants, is like they have to deliver all these shares. I mean I don't know. I think it's gonna be crazy. So yeah. So, and I think there's going to be like maybe after he exercised, there's going to be like T plus 35 or something like that, right? There's going to be some sort of the time, stuff, I don't know how are you going to calculate that, but you can look into it. I mean, that's just kind of how I see things. So yeah, I hope this helps. And I'm not saying that, I'm, what I says is going to be, correct, but just based on, what I study, what I research, what I've done DD, that's just kind of what I can tell you. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So thanks for tuning in. I don't know if anyone have questions. Let's just have a look. All right, no questions. All right. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in, and then I'm gonna I'll probably do another live stream when I see another important phase. So all right, thanks for tuning in, and then have a good night. Goodbye.